I would like to just start off by just telling you the honest truth. This is not a hard sell. Um, this you don't need any tech background um, to follow along. This is to get you started within Salesforce. If you've ever heard of the word Salesforce, and you just nodded your head and sort of just nodded along without really knowing what it is, I think you are in the right place. I think over the next 45 minutes, my job is just to answer, I think, three simple questions. What Salesforce actually is, why it's suddenly everywhere, and how it could become your way into a tech career, right? I mean, even if you're starting from zero and without any technical background, that's the advantage of Salesforce. I think I would also like to just start off by kind of telling you a fun fact before we actually dive into the presentation. Only because I love this one. Like it's always, I was drawn by it as soon as, like, they told me about this. So Salesforce started back in 1999 in a small rented apartment in San Francisco. The founder, Mark Benioff, had an idea. Everyone thought he was crazy, that one day you would install software on your computer. You wouldn't have to install software on your computer at all. You would just literally open a browser and everything would live online in the cloud. People genuinely thought he lost it. His whole marketing campaign was the word software, software inside a red circle with a line through it. No software. And he even hired actors to stage a fake protest outside of a rivals conference. Fast forward today, and that crazy apartment idea is a company making over $40 billion a year. I share this because every single expert in this place, I would say myself included, started exactly where you guys are today. And just curious, that's what this session is going to be about, is just to try to kickstart your career in Salesforce. So I might as well start the presentation. That was just a quick story, or a quick background on Salesforce. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So I'd like to just welcome you again to the session. Your Salesforce career starts here. To discover, why Salesforce is and why it's in such high demand and how you can break into that market. My name is Hewlett. I'm a software specialist at Geeks for Learning, focusing on Salesforce in building and integrating enterprise CRM solutions with the experience across financial sectors as well. Um, I'm certified. I'm a certified administrator, platform developer 1 and 2, plus a SAQA and MICC registered system developer. Um, why I teach is because I joined Geeks for Learning as a learner. The team took me from knowing nothing about Salesforce to 3 times certified in under a year. That inspired me, and now I want to share that. I want to share why Salesforce matters. Just about us at Geeks for Learning, we are an accredited IT training academy on a mission to develop the next generation of tech talent. Our mission is to nurture talent to meet the evolving tech needs of businesses and individuals. We offer globally recognized certifications, courses, qualifications, plus accredited test centers. We help individuals in building their tech career. The SA businesses driving their skills in development. Our values, we stand by, innovation, trust, excellence, collaboration, diversity, and inclusion. What we've achieved as a company, we are a MICC accredited SAQA. We provide MICC accredited programs. We have authorized test centers with Pearson View, CertPoint, QCTO, ISTQB, and BSc. Geeks for Learning started as an initiative by Riverside in 2019 to tackle the youth unemployment. We currently have 2 campuses in Johannesburg and in Cape Town as well. Today, we'll cover various aspects. One being what Salesforce actually is, why it dominates the market, what you can build with it, careers and earning potentials, certifications that matter, and how our training will get you there or break into the market. So to start off, I think we need to just kind of break down what Salesforce actually is. Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM, a customer relationship management platform. It is software that companies use to store, manage, and act on everything they know about customers all in one place. It's the single source of truth, is where all the information about the client comes together in one place. It's low code and customizable. You're able to configure powerful apps with just clicks and not just code. It's 100% in the cloud, meaning you can access it from anywhere on any device, and there's nothing that you install on your device. Think of it as a shared address book for an entire business, but one that also tracks every conversation, automates the busy work, and tells you what to do next. The Salesforce story, as I mentioned in the beginning, it started in a rented San Francisco apartment in 1999. It then goes public in 2004 on the NYCE under the ticker CRM. In 2009, it became the first cloud company to reach $1 billion in annual revenue. In 2016, it introduces Einstein, which brings built-in AI to the platform. Between 2018 and 2021, it acquires MuleSoft, Tableau, Slack to grow the ecosystem. And eventually in 2024, it launches Agentforce. That's the agentic, it launches the agentic AI within Salesforce called Agentforce that basically does what agents do. So it automates certain processes within the system. Today, Salesforce is the #1 CRM for plus minus 12 years running. It's about 41.5 billion in annual revenue and is used by 90% of the Fortune 500. Now, just to sort of break down how Salesforce is configured, it's again 100% in the cloud. It's a multi-tenant, so which means many companies share one secure platform, each in their own private space. So an example would be an apartment building, and each apartment is partitioned to each client within the apartment building, right? So thousands of companies run on that one platform like flats in the building. It's private and secure. Your data sits within an org, and neighbors, if hence the analogy of a flat, neighbors cannot see what is in your apartment. Upgrades for everyone. So one of the benefits of having Salesforce in the cloud, maintenance, you get free maintenance up to 3 upgrades a year automatically. Now, life before a CRM, most growing businesses used to sort of scatter information across dozens of different places, right? And things used to slip through the cracks. So think of where data used to live before a CRM. It would be on spreadsheets. It would be in email boxes. It would be on WhatsApp chats. It would sticky notes, phone call memory, in someone's head, and it would cost the business eventually. Leads would never get followed up on. 2 reps would chase the same client. No idea what deals are actually being closed. Customer history walks out when the staff leaves. Reporting means painful manual spreadsheets. So now, just to sort of compare the life without a CRM and a life with Salesforce. So customers' info scattered everywhere, right? Salesforce comes in, right, and creates a shared home for every customer. Now, where follow-ups depend on memory, in Salesforce, you can create automatic reminders and follow-ups. Sorry about that. I was just told that the presentation, you guys cannot see the presentation. Let me just try to share. Please, thumbs up in the chat if you guys can see the presentation. I'll stop sharing and share again. Please let me know when you can see my screen, guys, in the chats. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, thank you. All right. Just to continue where I left off. Okay, so where were we? So we were explaining how the life without a CRM as compared to the life with a CRM, Salesforce specifically in this regard. So we were saying that follow-ups depend on memory without a CRM. So you need to now remember every inquiry, through just your memory, and with Salesforce, you are able to create automatic reminders and follow-ups thereof. Whereas deals slip through slip through unnoticed. Within Salesforce, a live pipeline shows every deal. All right, and reports without the CRM, reports are built by hand, or used using third-party systems, you know and within Salesforce, we can create dashboards that are updated in real time. Knowledge is lost when people leave. So imagine someone leaving the company, right? They leave with all that knowledge, right? So within Salesforce allows you to store that history. So whoever comes can take over. Now, how Salesforce sort of organizes the data. Everything lives as records in connected objects. A handful of core objects cover most of what the business needs. So you have various objects that are standard to Salesforce, right? You can also create custom objects if need be according to the business requirement, right, or the business process. Some of the core standard objects that Salesforce comes with are one, leads. So this would be sort of a new inquiry. Imagine that. Imagine a lead being a new inquiry, like a customer coming into. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. I just need to fix the situation about the slide. I'm gonna share again. Please let me know if you guys can see the presentation. Can you guys see it now? I think we might as well just go through the session without the slides. I'll just explain everything in detail. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so moving on, we were talking about how Salesforce comprises of objects and how these objects are basically um, uh, uh, um, what the business needs to store information or data about each client, right? Or each company. So we spoke about leads as leads are a new inquiry. Imagine a lead being a new inquiry. That's an object on its own. And we'll have a second object called accounts. Accounts would be the company, right? And we'll have our third object called contacts, which would be a person, right, that works at that company. We'll have an opportunity, which would be a potential deal. We'll have a case that would be support, right? So we have all these objects which connect together, right, and build some sort of portfolio about the client. So now organizing this data in this way, you get to store every information that is required about that client. So in servicing that client, you have all the data that you need, right? And these are just some standard objects that Salesforce comes with, according to whatever business process, according to any business process. Actually, you can build you can build objects on top of that to store more information about the client. So Now, I would like to also just get into, I'd also just like to get into uh, uh, following the customer's journey, right? So from capturing the client, whether it being from, an inquiry on WhatsApp. We have what we call web to leads. In Salesforce, we have where you capture information from a form on our website, right? In simple terms, we also have email to lead as well, right? Then once we've captured the customer information, um, we qualify and convert, which means the lead now becomes an account, contact, and an opportunity, right? Now that we have um, stored information about this client, we now need to work the deal. It moves through a pipeline of stages with tasks and reminders, right? Once we've worked the deal, we can then close. So we can either mark it as a closed won or a closed lost, right? We'll then, once the deal has been either closed won or closed lost. If it's a closed won, then it will go through to support, all right, where a case is tracked, right? For example, support would be a case, would be an issue on a product that a customer, might have found faulty or whatever. So this would be an issue where this information would be tracked, right, and would be assisted on through the system itself. So coming back to um, you know Salesforce being a 360 system, or this entire process is handled within Salesforce itself. Now, I don't know if you guys remember in the beginning I mentioned clicks, not code. So it has the ability to build automation with just a drag and drop. So we have different mediums we use to build um, that automation within Salesforce. One of it being flows. So think of it as a let's just say we have an opportunity which has is closed won, right? This can create a trigger, right, through the automation process that you have set up to create an onboarding task, to send a welcome email, to notify the manager. You don't need to walk up to the manager and notify the manager that it could be done automatically through the system. Generating an invoice for the customer, we can automate that as well. So those are just a few examples of how you can automate the busy work. Now, we also have within Salesforce reports and dashboards um, that I think I did mention in the beginning as well, where we turn the data that we have into visual insights, right? So in this case, no manual spreadsheets are required. Dashboards refresh the moment records change. So I had an image showing you within the presentation, sort of um, showing you how a dashboard would look. but think of it as, viewing data visually, through, pie charts and different types of charts, right? Where the client or the user can just see all the information they need to know at a glance. Now, I think you guys also might have the question of who uses Salesforce, right? From startups to the world's biggest companies, just across about every industry uses Salesforce. From banking and finance to retail and e-commerce, healthcare, non-profits, startups, education, so just about every industry uses Salesforce. Now, just some of the companies, that use Salesforce around the world would be your Amazon, Spotify, Toyota, and just many more. I know that APSA runs one of the biggest Salesforce deployments with around 15,000 staff use it across the bank, right? And it's been growing, since 2018, and it's still growing. Salesforce isn't just the trend; it's a whole market. It's the number one CRM in the world, and it's been running for 12 years, straight, and it shares 21% of the global CRM market. There's 11.6 million new jobs in the ecosystem that is set to create. So that just gives you an indication of, the growing market within Salesforce. Not 11.6 million people are doing Salesforce or working within Salesforce, but the ecosystem is set to create 11.6 million more jobs, and 7,000 plus ready-made apps on App Exchange. So just to give you just a breakdown of what App Exchange is, it's basically like a store, or not even a store. Think of it, let's just say a store, right? Where you purchase apps, you purchase, all kinds of apps, right? To just sort of extend the functionality of your org, of the system itself, right? So you sometimes you get to a point, maybe as an administrator, we'll get into what an administrator does or what it is. You're given a task to extend functionalities, that, or maybe, like, for example, you need to create a calculator that calculates whatever, right? And generically, Salesforce doesn't come with a calculator, right? You can just go into App Exchange, and that's where you'll be able to download a calculator. That's just an example, and install it within Salesforce, right? So the Salesforce also comes with, it's not just one platform, but many clouds. Salesforce is organized into products for different teams, but they all share the same data and work together. So we have different products within Salesforce, such as your Sales Cloud, right, where you can track leads, deals, and pipelines to close more sales. You'd have your Service Cloud as well, where you can manage support cases and keep customers happy. You have your marketing cloud, which runs where you can run campaigns and automate customer journeys. You have your comments cloud, where you can power online stores and buying experiences. You'd have your platform and flow, where you build custom apps and automate processes as well. You'd have your Einstein AI, which are predictions. It gives you predictions, and AI assist. It's an AI assistant, which gives you recommendations and insight into organizing that data in a more clear way for the user. So all these products are within Salesforce generically, and these work together. So we call it a customer 360, where as much as these products are individual products within the org, but they are connected. So we have a 360 view. For example, if a Sales Cloud user needs to know, needs information on a support case. Remember, support cases are handled in Service Cloud. They can easily, just grab the information within the org itself, right? So all these products are connected, and they build a 360 view of who the client is. We also have what we call Data 360. So most companies run dozens of disconnected tools. So customer data ends up scattered. Data 360 pulls it all together in one single real-time profile. I had a graph to show you, but unfortunately I can't. But think of it as scattered tools across the company, such as your email tool, your e-commerce tool, your ERP or financial system, your system used at the support desk, spreadsheets, web and app, websites and applications. So what Data 360 does, it connects all these systems together to give you a 360 view of the customers. So if you have a system disconnected or a separate system from Salesforce, you use Data 360 to connect it, and to also assist in building that one source of truth, right? The modern day Salesforce, which how they like to, or how it's put, it's data plus AI plus CRM. So data being the trusted unified information about every customer. Now, AI, I mentioned Einstein, right? We also have agent force, right? Which turn that data into insights and actions. Now we also have CRM, which is the system where the work gets done, right? By the way, Salesforce is the #1 AI CRM system in the world as well. Now, talking about AI, taking a leap into AI, we have what we call agentic AI within Salesforce, that being agent force, right? Now, traditional AI answers how traditional AI answers certain questions. For example, like let's say you it needs to wait for a prompt, right, for it to do the work. It will suggest an answer, right? But at the end, you still do the work, right? So now bringing you into the agentic AI being Agent Force, right? Agent Force understands what the goal is. It plans the steps itself and takes action across the systems. So it works 24/7, hands off, and no human intervention is included. So think of it as an execution layer, right? It Agent Force doesn't just suggest a reply. It looks up the order, processes, for example, a refund, updates the record and emails of that customer, and it's also grounded by Data 360. So again, Data 360, we connecting different systems. With Agent Force, right, you can build agents that are able to access all that information and get to understand the client more clearly, right? And literally just do the work on its own. That's what agentic AI is. So what the people always ask, now we are removing the um, we're removing human intervention. Well, do I still have, is a job still secured for me? You know, it definitely is. Agent Force, it you still need people to create those agents, right? And Agent Force removes just the large amounts of work, those repetitive tasks, right? So that a user can just focus on what is more important, right? Again, the payoff and in-demand skills and the rewarding pay within Salesforce. They obviously they range according to, you know, according to countries, experiences, and certifications. You know, in Salesforce, demands they keep climbing. You know, year on year. You can work from anywhere, right? The cloud skills travel. We like to say that cloud skills travel. Remote and global roles are very common within Salesforce, being that it's in the cloud. Fast to start. So I think I did mention that you don't need any IT background. Many people land an admin role without a tech degree, right? Now, where Salesforce skills can take you, right? Salesforce offers over 40 certifications across 8 role-based tracks, a clear ladder to sort of complete as a beginner to being an elite, with exams refreshed every year. So within over 40 certifications, you get to choose your own path that you want to follow within Salesforce, right? Usually the path would start from being an administrator. That would be the starting point. This is where you configure, maintain, and support Salesforce for businesses. At this point, no coding is involved. As I mentioned, um, I did mention that you don't need a tech degree to land an admin job. You just need that certification, right? Um, I know also developer. The PD1 is also in high demand, where you build custom features using a language called Apex, right? And Lightning, where clicks aren't enough. So imagine a business process. Some business process extend towards what Salesforce cannot do, right? So in that regard, you have Apex, right? You have your developers that will come in and extend those functionalities within Salesforce using the code Apex, right? You can become a consultant and translate business needs into Salesforce solutions across projects. You can become an architect. Usually this was more of a senior position where you design large scale, complex Salesforce systems. This also, to my understanding, really pays well. I think also we need to clear up some myths around Salesforce, right? Usually people would say, do I need to be a coder? No, you don't. The admin path is a point and click. So many roles need zero programming, right? Secondly, people also asked, do I need an IT or tech degree? It's a no. Employees care about the certifications and hands-on skills, not just degrees. It's too late to start. The ecosystem is still growing and short on talent, from my understanding. And I think this would be the perfect time to get into Salesforce. It'll take me years. No, I think focused learners can be job ready for an entry role in just months. I got all my certifications within a year. So I think if you're really focused, you can get that certification within a month or two. Now, also talking about the community of Salesforce. Salesforce has a community where you can join, and this community is so that you can sort of interact with people within Salesforce, experts, to say, and people who've been in Salesforce for a very long time, and just connect with them and get to understand it better and learn from them. So we have what we call Dreamforce as well, which is sort of Salesforce's flagship event, and the beating heart of a large global community, right? I think this event is hosted in San Francisco as well, and it's also the world's largest AI event. It can also be joined on Salesforce Plus from anywhere. So yeah. Now, if you're curious as to how at Geeks for Learning we can get you to towards landing, your career in Salesforce, we go through a training program where we teach the foundations. We clear the unknown, beginner-friendly lessons with no prior experience needed. We practice hands-on. We build in a real Salesforce org with guided projects. We prep for certifications, exam-focused practice, so you can pass with confidence. We help you or assist you in building a portfolio, interview prep, and guide you towards landing that role. What our training gives you, we are more than just lectures. We give you everything you need to know, from a total beginner to being job ready and certified. We have expert-led mentorship. As I mentioned, hands-on projects as well. We have test centers where you can write your exams, your certification exams, and job-ready support. We make sure that you, as I mentioned, ready for ready for the workplace. Now, I think that is sort of all you need to know at this point with regards to Salesforce. I think we will send you our catalog. Everybody that has joined today, just look into your emails. You'll get a link to our catalog where you can purchase the training. And you can start your Salesforce journey. You can find us at geeksforlearning.com as well, where you can just get to know us better as Geeks for Learning. Our emails. I think what I'll do is I'll just compile all our information in the email that I'm going to send to you, including the link to our catalog with all the information that you need to know. And all our social media platforms will be in the email as well. I think that that's all you need to know about Salesforce at this point to get started. I don't know. I think we can just get into a discussion. If you guys have any questions you need to ask, you can ask. Anything that you need to know, anything, if anything was unclear, you can just mention it. Yes, they do expire if you do not maintain. So you need to maintain. So you maintain your certifications through Trailhead. I think every 6 months or so they need to be maintained. But maintaining it is not a big hassle. It's just more of it's just a module that you just need to go through. It's usually more of the maintenance is more of the improvements of Salesforce, right? So what Trailhead does is what we're going to use to sort of get you up to speed. Trailhead will have sort of the modules that you will need to complete to to make sure that your qualification is valid. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? Thank you. other questions? Yes, as I mentioned, certifications. We have associate. We have an associate certifications that can start you out, but that's more of just Salesforce's fundamental. I would suggest you start with admin if you want to land your first role in Salesforce. So I will also send you guys my details as well, where we can just communicate. And if you might have questions after this webinar, you can ask through via email. Do you have any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, so thank you for joining today and taking the time to learn more about Salesforce with me. I hope this session has given you a better understanding of what Salesforce is, why it matters, and how it can open up exciting careers and opportunities in today's tech space. Remember, starting in Salesforce is a journey, and it begins with learning the fundamentals and gaining the practical experience, and building confidence, and continuously developing your skills. Yeah. Thank you again. I wish you all the best in your Salesforce journey, and